This is effing weird, you guys. Okay, so this guy got busted finally for the Tupac Shakur murder, right? And I was talking about how there's this weird thing going on that just goes along with this bullshit. And I remember going through this case, and then there was somebody in here that was making up some shit. Like, I don't know what the hell they were going off on, and it may be the same guy. But I just looked at his this old picture of his face, and I'm like, um, we're looking for Mr. Holiday. So this is what I was trying to figure out. So I was like, maybe Mr. Holiday is a number of things. I don't know. I cannot answer this because what I think, I don't know if this is the guy that was on the corner. Like, I would have a hard time. I don't know. We can't identify him right now. But I will tell you this, minus the gold shiny front tooth thing, because maybe he did have it and I just didn't remember it. I don't know. But he looks similar, quote unquote, in this photo, just in this photo, similar to the person that I'm trying to identify. And so, I don't know. But he's from Compton. But there was a thing that was going on out here where they were recording out in Hollywood. So Dr. Dre and the other guy was out here, and then there's this drug ring going on. So I was like, there's a whole other thing going on, which I wasn't involved with these people. There was a whole separate thing. Um, but okay, let me see something because it would depend on. I don't get why. Okay, so he would apparently be a Crip, right? And then, but I have no dealings with these people. That's why I was sitting there going, the only thing that ever happened was me talking with that guy, and then the ring thing. So maybe there's some people, maybe some of the oldest friends. I don't know. Like, I'm just like, there was no the only thing that, like I said, I remember is that there were some gang members that were trying to go after the one guy, the pedo drug dealer, that stupid idiot to the celeb, that dude in that thing, that they were trying to go after him. And then they knew, like, I wasn't, I don't know, they just left me alone, but they were trying to go after that guy. Like, I seen them the one time, but I don't know who they are, right? Like, I couldn't identify to you, like, which, thing they're part of. And then just me talking to this guy. And then all this other corrupt stuff going on the inside with the cops, right? So I was like, yeah. So there was definitely some bullshit there. Um, but I'm just trying to identify them because I don't know if there's some other, thing involved in that. Because it's weird that, okay, so there's corrupt cops in the Rampart part that was dealing with, I guess, some of the gang members, right, or something. And then they did a robbery, right? And then they took off into Nevada, and then I went to Nevada. So I was like, I don't know, the connections there are like, it's just like parallel. It's just weird. And I'm like, I never did anything. I was the victim, in this other thing. So I was like, they're all shitty anyway, that they would just do bad stuff anyway, where it wouldn't need, maybe perhaps need this massive connection, but they had covered up the ring, these one cops, right? And I didn't even know who Biggie Smalls was. I mean, that's how out of it I am. I was like, I heard about the case, but I don't know who these people were. You could have told me back then. I'm like, who? um, that's the only thing I could think of. Something in this thing. I don't know if that guy would he have. Let me see that little dwarf guy. Because I don't know why he would be able to. Okay, so he's a Crip. So we know he's a Crip. I thought Sugar was a Blood. I don't understand this. They played football together. See, the football thing, guys. Okay, so I guess they played football together. So Sugar was down the street. I told you, there's some weird shit going on here. Because I was like, the guy reminds me of Suge, but it's not Suge, right? Ha! Ha! I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on here. So then, Suge was, yeah, down the street at a Hollywood recording studio, and which I didn't know at the time, guys. It wasn't like, oh, I knew all this. It's like I had to do some research because I was like, the guy kind of reminds me of him, but it's not him, I'm pretty sure. Um, and then these two guys came up, right? And then she got into a fight with a couple of people, and then I guess he got in trouble right there, right in the same period of time where I'm talking about. And then this other guy, okay, so then this other guy tells those dwarf guys, to, basically leave me alone or something. And then they had a kid, right? That was the scenario of this whole thing. So my only dealing with any of these people at all was me talking to this one guy. So we've been trying to figure out who the one guy is, but he does look absolutely similar to this other guy just from that headshot. Um, but I don't really get it. But I've never, but even after the fact, you guys, this is the weird thing. So after the fact, I've never ran across like one of these gang members like this that had an issue or any other. So I don't, there's something, I don't know what it is. It may just be their, maybe they do have some weird corrupt under thing with this certain group of cops. So I don't know. It's like one of those things that's like we need to have some answers to this because what the fuck. Um, because they did legitimately cover up the ring. And legitimately, these people were out here. And so I'd already identified the two, right? We're about 99.9% sure it was those two guys. So who would be talking to those two guys to where they're like, hey, yo, leave, yeah, this bullshit. And then the dudes are like, cool, man, whatever, And I'm just like, what? So then the dude leaves, right? And the dude that I was talking to seemed totally normal, like this normal, like, I mean, like this type of guy, right? Like where he's not like all, he doesn't look all tattooed up, like he might be, but like you look at him, he's just like sort of this like normal looking dude. And he's like talking all normal, but he like knew everything that was going on the corner. And he knew everything that was going on with the ring, on the other ring. And I didn't even know that was the leader of that ring over there. So that's who he was across the street watching, right? So I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? So I don't, but why is he just, you know what I mean? I'm trying to put this together because we need to figure out who that other guy is, regardless, because it could be an undercover creepy ass cop. It could be anybody, but it could give some indication of like what's going on here. Maybe there's the deeper thing that's going on here. And that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm clueless as fuck, you guys. Like I don't even know what the hell's going on. But yeah, at the time, because I'm a kid, so I'm talking to people. I was like, I don't know who any of these people are. Nobody. Yeah, so no. I mean, it's not. I didn't get any gang threats. I didn't get any wild like crazy stuff happening other than from cops, right? Like them doing stuff. And so it's been like this thing where it's like I shit. But I was suspecting like wouldn't you have to be you would either have to be a gang member to talk to them like that or you're a officer, right? A narcotics guy that's play pretending he's um a street guy. You know what I mean? Like I was like going, yeah, something weird because no random person would do that. I'm telling you. No. And nor would they listen to you. And so it was sort of like that. It was like, hey, you know what I mean? That just some way they were talking, and I was like, something's weird with this. They go like this. I said this case was hard because you would have to know like some of this inner stuff here, but Las Vegas, one of the last living witnesses of the fatal drive-by shooting of rapper Tupac in Las Vegas, was charged with murder Friday in the 96 killing, a long-awaited breakthrough in the case that has frustrated investigators and fascinated the public. A Nevada grand jury indicted Duane, and I was thinking, I was like, was that guy's name too? Like, I can't for the life of me remember it right now. And they're all Keefe D or something Davis. Um, on one count of murder with a deadly weapon. Clark County Chief Deputy District Attorney Mark, I don't know. Davis had long been known to investigators and has himself admitted in interviews and in his 2019 tell-all memoir, Compton Street Legend, that he was in the Cadillac from which the gun erupted during the September 96 drive-by shooting. So he just wanted to out himself or like what? Okay, so wait. He described Davis as an on-ground, on-site commander who ordered the death of Shakur who was killed at 25. And he's the leader and shot caller. Okay, so for 27 years, the family of Tupac has been waiting for justice. And then, while I know there's been many people who do not believe that the murder of Tupac Shakur was important to this police department, I'm here to tell you that is simply not the case. Yeah, yeah, whatever. We know back then was corrupt as shit. So, and you hated gang members, and try to say something else now is just kind of. Okay, so after Davis' 2018 interview, Johansson said the police department knew this was likely our last time to take a run at the case to successfully solve this case and bring forth a criminal charge. The charges were revealed hours after Davis, 60, was arrested this morning while on a walk near his home in Las Vegas suburb of Henderson. And then it says in mid-July, they were looking for items concerning the murder of Tupac, according to the search warrant. They collected multiple computers, cell phone, hard drive, a Vibe magazine that featured Shakur, several caliber bullets, and 2 tubes containing photographs and a copy of Davis' memoir. It has often been said that justice delayed is justice denied. And then in this case, justice has been delayed, but justice won't be denied. A grand jury has been hearing evidence in the case for several months, and it wasn't immediately clear if Davis had an attorney who can comment on his behalf, and Davis hasn't responded to multiple phone, text messages, and all that stuff. Okay, so on September 7th, 1996, Shakur was in a BMW driven by Death Row Records founder Suge Knight in a convoy of about 10 cars. They were waiting at a red light near the Las Vegas Strip when a Cadillac pulled up next to him and gunfire erupted, and Shakur was shot and multiple times and died a week later. The rapper's death came as his fourth solo album, All Eyes on Me, remained on the charts and sent 5 million copies. Nominated 6 Grammy Awards, Shakur is largely considered one of the most influential and versatile rappers of all time. In his memoir, Davis said he was in the passenger seat of the Cadillac and had slipped the gun used in the killing into the back seat from where he said the shots were fired. Davis implicated his nephew, Orlando Baby Lane Anderson, saying he was the one of the 2 people in the backseat. Anderson, a known rival of Shakur, who had been involved in a casino brawl with the rapper shortly before the shooting. Okay, I remember that part of the story, and everybody thought it was him. And Anderson denied any involvement in Shakur's death, and he died 2 years later. In his nephew's defense, yeah, I remember people trying to say, somebody here, I don't know who it was, but they were trying to say that Suge like set it up and then have people shoot up all with him right there. And I was like, that's ridiculous. I've never heard of such a thing. I mean, that's just not gonna happen. So, emails seeking comment from 2 lawyers who have previously represented Knight were not immediately returned. Knight was grazed by a bullet fragment in the shooting, but had only minor injuries. It's just like every time somebody, this whole thing went to anyway. He is serving a 28-year prison sentence in California for an unrelated voluntary manslaughter charge. In his memoir, Davis revealed that he first broke his silence in 2010, a closed-door meeting with federal and local authorities. At the time, he was 46 and faced life in prison on drug charges, and he agreed to speak with them about Tupac's killing, as well as the fatal shooting 6 months later of Tupac's rival Biggie Smalls, so also known as the Notorious B.I.G. They offered to let me go for running a criminal enterprise and numerous alleged murders for the truth about the Tupac and Biggie murders. They promised they would shred the indictment and stop the grand jury if I helped them out. Shakur was feuding at the time with rap rival Biggie Smalls, who was fatally shot in March '97. And it just goes along with stuff with our stuff there. That's why I was just like, I don't know what the hell I hear. Okay, so at the time, both rappers were in the middle of an East Coast, West Coast rivalry, and that primarily defined the hip hop scene during the the 90s, right? Greg, a retired LA detective who spent years investigating the Shakur killing, and wrote a book about it, said he's not surprised by Davis' arrest. The former LA police detective. Oh, by the way, at this time they were running a human trafficking ring and raping us and everything was totally cool. And we were like not even of the topic. Yeah. And, these people were all up in here, so, but anyway, and he believed the investigation gained new momentum in recent years following Davis' public descriptions of his role in the killing, including his 2019 memoir. In those events, that have given Las Vegas the ammunition and the leverage to move forward. Prior to Keefe's public declaration, the case were unprosecutable as they stood, and all the other direct conspirators or participants are dead. Keefe D is the last man standing among the individuals that conspired to kill Tupac. Yep, I got some question about the cop involvement in these early 1992 portions into that in between 97 there, right there. Mm-hmm. As far as them being gang members, that is in question here, dudes. They're not all dead. Those cops? Fuck no. They're still alive. They're as old as this guy. Some of them they could be in their 50s, they could be in their 60s, they could be maybe some in their 70s right now. A lot of those guys are alive, I'm pretty damn sure. So, questions. It's not over. Why is this other guy talking to these people? And why was there this like weird rival? I don't know. Why did they cover up the drug ring? Why is this going on? Like, what is the additionals in this? Because it's like me, but then there's a bunch of white guys, and I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense to me right now because I'm not in that fucking shit. So it's just other than me being there and this happening in front of me, and you're trying to make sense of something that just is fucking whack. Yeah, no. Okay, so Super Crip. Okay, so if you're seeing something like that, let me see. That was Snoop. Okay, so they all did this thing together. Y'all need to fucking cue me in here because I'm not in the gangs. So if he's a Crip, we'll just say it like this because what. Yeah, so if Snoop's up in here with Dr. Dre, is he a Crip? Let me see this because this will tell me more. They're Crips? I thought he was a blood. I thought Suge was a blood. I have no fucking idea. Okay, so Snoop is a Crip because this will help us out because that other guy is, right? Yes. Okay. Oh, they were Crips. Okay. So that's very possible. Yeah, so I'm assuming Bush, all of them, if they're hanging out with them, right? So when he comes up, the other guy that I call Mr. Holiday goes and he's telling him this thing, and then they take off, right? Like it was weird. So okay, so I'm wrong maybe on who I originally like when I didn't know, and I just thought, oh, maybe they were blood. No, probably Crips. Yeah, okay. So then this guy right here is a Crip, and so then yeah, that's very possible. That's extraordinarily possible, and I'm hanging out with Crips and I have no fucking idea. And then some other bullshit may have happened there. But nobody, like I said, there was no other additional things with them unless it's because they're inside the units or something. We need more information on this. That's not, why is it going together? Anybody want to take a spin at that one? Yeah, it's a little strange. Let me see something. Some of the weird shit in this. Rampart ties to death row, okay? The Rampart Corruption Task Force investigators discovered that hip-hop, Suge, owner of Death Row Records, had hired several of the corrupt Rampart officers for security at various times, including Nuno, Kevin, David, and Raphael, right? So, but also I'm hanging out with the Alice Camp, right? And so I don't know who they hired as security. And one of the strange things, it was just a strange thing that went together where it was like I was in Nevada and then these guys did these things. But the guys that did the things out in Nevada were white guys. But the rest of them, it's just like white, Hispanic, and I don't remember any black male cops. But there's something going on here where it was going along with the story though. I was like, oh yeah, that happened there, and that happened there, and then this thing happened when this thing happened over there. And my job was literally right down the street from where Biggie got shot. And there was people at my work saying they were going to go. Like there was this weird thing. And I'm like, I don't understand this. I was like, and I'm getting targeted by the cops. I'm not getting targeted by street gang members. I'm getting targeted by these officers, and it's nuts. Like it doesn't, I'm trying and so when the Justice Department is asking me like, why are they doing this? I'm like, ask a socio, why they do anything? The only correlation that I can think of is that if for some strange reason Mr. Holiday is Duane, then it's just sort of a thing where people were paying attention to my knowledge of some things, which I didn't know that I knew. I was like, it was kind of like that. So I'm not really sure. It's a very interesting thing here going on. Yeah, I'm telling you, the dude looks, that's why I said, don't give me a lineup because it could be another guy that looks like that guy. He didn't have any majorly standout, features about him other than he was taller and he was a bigger guy. And I associated him with the look of Suge Knight, but it's not, I do not believe it's Suge. And so I was like, okay, I don't fucking know. And why is this guy hanging out in the corner? And he said he had a house down towards downtown, like towards where, where the death row records are. He's like, my place is out there, something. And I'm like, I don't know what, I don't know. Like he could be making up all kinds of shit too, like, because some people just do that, they could have lost their home and they're just like trying to give a story, right? And, yeah, we need to solve that, because what the fuck? Because it's showing that there's some corrupt things in the police department, right? Mm-hmm. What made this more weird is they brought this into fucking Harvey Weinstein, of him bringing in that Raphael guy. And I'm like, yeah, these celebs up in here are scum. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but that's the thing, because when I go to these shows, they have security, so their security has to know me somehow because nobody's questioning me, right? So I'm like, that it's just something, it was one of those things where you just didn't think of. I was just like, I don't care, I have to go in here, and they send me back there, and it's like, I don't recall, these certain things. So when I was asking the other place, I was like, well, whose security guard was it? Is it yours? Is it them? Like, what's going on here? There's a conflict of interest. There's a conflict inside the group there. So if it was theirs, and so we need to know those things and who those people are, just to eliminate or include something else. So yeah, but nobody's cooperating, of course, right? Yeah. And so why did Alice's people go, if only you followed the bus, this would have never happened to you? And then those officers are saying, oh, this is going to be forever. And I'm like, what? Yeah, like gang members or something. I mean, they're going on like that. They were making up shit. Like, they set me up in order to harass me. It was like that. It was like a series of events where I got set up and thrown out, and them setting me up to where I can't do anything. And then they went and targeted me like all fucking day long. Yeah, and I never committed a crime. Like, I wasn't a criminal, because otherwise I'd have this huge criminal record, right? So I was like, this is crazy. So yeah, that's why I went to FBI, and then obviously they don't give a shit about nothing. Did you guys see that other video that I did on the when they came after me saying I was the killer? The fucking Luca. I was like, the fucking, like the serial killer Luca. No, that guy that started killing kittens. he was killing kittens and putting videos online, and people were like, these are fake. I go, no, they're fucking real, dude. It's disgusting. And so then he chops up his boyfriend because he's this like totally flamboyant gay, like freaking killer that was going to become a serial killer. And so then he puts a video online of his like dead body or body parts or some crap, dude. I was like, what the shit? Fuck. So I was on the case like at the very intro, right? Because it was in Canada. And so I got all that information. And then they started thinking I was the killer. And I did a thing on it, right? And lo and behold, I had to go through the clip the other night. And I was sitting there and I was reading it again. And I was reading it again because I didn't know who it was, right? And I sent a thing to the tip line. I go, who's coming after me? Because they're saying that the police think it's me. I put a quote from something on the bottom where they sent the video of the guy getting killed or something or some other thing. And FBI totally thought it was fake and disregarded it. And it was real. Okay. So then, yeah, that's how much you should trust them. So, and then, yeah. So then they thought it was me because then LAPD was looking at a guy who decapitated his boyfriend out here, but they didn't know who did it yet. And I'm like, why are you looking at me? I'm not a fucking guy. And so I was like, and I love cats. I love cats, you know, I wouldn't be doing anything like that. So then I was reading it because there was this guy, it was an attorney from Montana, and he saw these videos and he kept sending them to all authorities, right? And they all disregarded it, called it fake, didn't think it was real, all this shit, right? And I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, attorney. And there was a line and it said this. It's all, if you ever find yourself in trouble, I can help you out and you can contact me or something like that. And I never understood the line when they said it to me because I'm not a criminal, so I wouldn't even associate that. I go, oh, so the guy's an attorney that was going at me. So anyways, yeah, we have a prowler fucking up in here, and I'm just like, every time I hear this like gate, I'm like freaked the fuck out. Yeah, so I don't know where I left off. Anyways, yeah, there's some strange things here because they're dealing with the corrupt cops, and what I do know is in the 92 portion, this ring was going down into that Wilshire area and down over there. And I cannot tell you what the fuck is going on here. So, because I don't know the actual nitty gritty of the ring. Like, I don't know if the dude was like dealing, like the guy that they arrested, I don't know if they figured like he was making it himself or he's getting he's getting it from somebody else. And maybe that's the deeper thing to it, is that they were getting it from these guys, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I have zero clue because I wasn't involved in that part. Because if I knew that, that would have been, I would tell them and then they would turn around and turn me into a suspect. You know, it would turn into that. It was really weird that they even brought that up saying, were you ever a suspect? I'm like, suspect in fucking what? Nah, it must be our fucking thing. It's just, somebody else. I'm like, what the fuck? I wouldn't be a suspect in that thing for the life of me because it was me telling the cops, these guys are still my shit. You know, I can't get them off me. It's the cops watching it and watching me getting harmed, looking at it going, oh, it's not, she's consenting. It totally, like this thing, and I'm a kid and I can't consent. And they don't even care, like, where my parents are or nothing. And let this fucking group of son of a bitches do this to me. But the other thing about it, you guys, is that the cops, like, could think I'm a Crip if I'm hanging out with the known gang member, right? So, I mean, why would it be a Crip, though? I was like, I don't know. But, or some sort of association to that shit. So, I was like, no. No, I didn't judge anybody. I didn't know anything about this stuff, okay, at the time. I was just like, here's some guys, like, talking to me. He's really nice, and then this happened, and then he didn't look like your typical, stereotypical gangbanger, right? Unlike the other two. I was like, unlike the other two, like big time. No, so I was like, yeah, I go, he had that Mr. Holiday kind of look. And yeah, I'm looking at Duane. I was like, I don't know why Duane could be up there. Maybe there is an explanation for Duane hanging out on a corner. Like maybe because why are they not getting along though? Like I don't understand this. Because it says Duane was born in Compton, and then during his childhood, he played football with Suge, right? So Davis would later reportedly join the Southside Compton Crips, and then he married somebody else, right? They're shooting up at Suge, right? So like, what? I don't know the entire story to this. So there's some inner. It's weird. So October 2011, former LAPD detective Greg. They're all pieces of shit for all I care. But anyway, Florida investigator in the murder of Christopher released a book alleging that Sean Combs commissioned Duane Keefe to kill Tupac. Well, what they know is Keefe did now. And then, yeah, I don't know about that Sean bullshit. And then as well as Suge Knight to kill Tupac and Suge. Yeah, so he wants to kill his childhood friend. That's why I said this is fucking whack. For 1 million. And Davis and they claim that Anderson was present in the vehicle. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that was pretty close, right? I mean, the story. So it's kind of like everybody knew the story. I don't know about the Sean Diddy bullshit. Phillips claimed that Crips were offered a $1 million bounty to kill Knight and Tupac. The two accounts differ on whether the bounty was offered by Combs, as reported by Kading, or by Wallace, as reported by Phillips. Maybe it was by Wallace, and that's why he got killed. I mean, I don't know. But can somebody help me? Because, okay, so in the beginning, see, here's the problem. It jumps from his background to 1996. Where was he in 92, you guys? Was he a part of that Hollywood recording thing? So this is something I have to find out. Because if he was, or any sort of, did they have a relationship? Did Suge and them have a relationship? Or did he, like, what's the thing here? Because somebody that was dealing with the dwarf looks similar to this guy. So we're going to end it with that. But I'm just saying. Just saying.